Now they said over the weekend that Tom Brady decided to fly out. Okay, they normally have Friday walkthroughs in Tampa. He skipped the Friday walkthrough to fly out to a event, and the event happened to be Bob Kraft's wedding. Bob Kraft had a kind of impromptu private wedding, and that's Brady's former boss, and so he flew out to participate in the wedding, and he came back, I guess, I don't know, maybe Saturday or something. I'm not sure when he got back into Tampa. And they had a game against the Steelers in which they lost. Now, Ray, we see all the time that certain veteran players get certain leeway because they're older, and we see some players who, just because they're good or that's because of who they are, they get special treatment. Are you okay with coaches that give special treatments to their great players?
Yeah, I think that you got to treat everybody with respect, but I don't think you treat them fairly. You can't because some guys are the franchise. If you take Tom Brady off of Tampa Bay, they are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that we've known for the last 15 years prior to him arriving. So, you know, if anybody can have a day off, Tom should be able to have a day off. If it were Aaron Donald or Pat Mahomes or any of these top flight guys, I think you have to give them more leeway because of who they are and what they've done. So, you know, I hear Tom Brady is getting a lot of flack for going and the team makes you feel this way and team makes you feel that way. But I mean, if anybody is a team guy, I think he's a team guy. And to pay respects to a owner and the organization that drafted you and gave you a chance and gave you uh, a great coach in the organization, I think that's not too much to ask for the man to be able to go to the wedding of a friend of his. He doesn't play in the organization anymore, but they still are friends or still family. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
The only real problem I have with this is that as an owner of an NFL team, why are you having a wedding during football season? I don't get that. That don't even make sense to me. But outside of that, I feel exactly what you're saying. Uh, the only downside you have to someone not being there is that, like if it happens during training camp or something, then maybe you miss out on some chemistry or whatever working out with the team. But this wasn't a training camp issue. This was a walkthrough. Walkthroughs really aren't that big of a deal as far as what the players do on a Friday. And so him not being there is not that bad. But do you think that if the Buccaneers would have won the game, this wouldn't have been a story at all?
Oh no, it wouldn't have been a story. Well, he's Tom. He's more prepared than anybody and stuff like that. That's the way the story would have went. But with sports media, they have to have something to talk about, and they have to have a reason to make conversation. So what they'll do is they always play devil's advocate on everything. So, how much did him not being away from the team affect the team and the team chemistry and all this other kind of stuff? And I mean, I think that the chemistry is fine, but you know, they have some different things going on because they switch coaches. And to me, I just don't believe. I didn't think from the beginning of the season things were going to be the same because I don't believe Tyler Bowles is as good a coach as Bruce Arians. But as you can see, it's not just him. Any defensive coach that's in the NFL right now generally are having problems. The offensive guys are running things, so it's going to flow a little different. But with Brady's case, I think that had he won the game, it would have been much to do about nothing. But being as that he didn't, you know, that's what comes up. Never mind all the other things that went wrong in the game, but that's what comes up. I mean, I think the bigger question is why is Kraft getting married? He's something years old.
Man, Bob Kraft loved the ladies. That's LLBK right there.
Yeah, but man, stay rich and stay single.
Yeah, I guess he's just trying. I feel you on that, but that's a different topic altogether. But all in all, I think that outside of Brady, there have been people throughout history who have been treated differently. I remember stories about when Jimmy Johnson was coaching the Cowboys, and there was a undrafted free agent that showed up to practice late, and Jimmy Johnson cut him. That's back then before free agency when
I
coaches had a
remember
little
that.
more
Yeah.
power. But if Emmett or Michael showed up late, you think he was gonna cut them? Nah. I mean, so players have been getting special treatment for the beginning of time. Like you said, these guys on these talking head shows had to have something to talk about, so they wanted to demonize Brady out of all people. Like you said, the most dedicated person you've probably seen when it comes to the game. I mean, this is a guy you could argue this is a guy that's throwing away his wife and his family for football. I mean, as far as how it looks on the outside in, so you can never question his love for the game.